Hi, I'm Theresa from Warpaint, and you're watching Toasted.
So welcome at the Lowlands Festival here at Warpaint. How are you doing?
I'm doing really, really well. I just went and saw a little dragon, and I was blown away, and I danced my arse off, so I'm excited. I feel good.
Are you looking forward to play here later?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you expect of the audience?
I expect a lot of this audience. No, I last time I played in Amsterdam, like a month ago at Paradiso, we just had like one of the best audiences we've ever had. So that's kind of like what I'm expecting. It's like not big. I mean, just because it seems like people around here are really passionate and like show the way that they feel like about the music that they're listening to. So I'm excited.
I was actually there at the gig and it was so good. It was really amazing. So
Really
I really liked the jam at the end. Do you do that more often?
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Are you going to do that today? Or?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, we always do that. We have a pretty good time. Like we get, I think we get an hour. We have a good time slot. So, yeah, that we can jam if we have an hour.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's really amazing that 4 girls make like music like this. Do you hear that a lot?
Well, I've heard it before, but no, I don't hear it a lot. I think it's cool. Yeah, I appreciate that we're doing something different, and I didn't think about that until like we just started touring a lot, and I like realized really like how unique it is, because we really are some of the only women around here who are making music, especially all 4 in a band. Like it's just girls, so I like the fact that we're doing something that's different, and that we're maybe like pushing the envelope, and the norms and stuff. So that makes me happy.
Is it a conscious decision that there's only women in the band?
No, that's the other thing too, is I don't feel contrived about it. Like we started off as an all-girl band, 4 girls, and then we lost one, and like we never were like, oh, we were down to play with anybody who wanted to play with us. Like we weren't saying like, oh well, we only want a girl to enter Warpaint. It's like, but the fact that it did happen that way again, and that's been the best fit, just makes me feel like it's not contrived what we're doing, and it's not a gimmick, and it's just like something really special.
Your debut album, The Fool, it was so well received. Everybody loved it. Does
Yeah.
do you have a lot of pressure because of that?
No, I don't feel pressure. Honestly, I feel really excited to write another album, and a lot of those songs were songs that we've had for years and years, and like they definitely got new life when we put them down and recorded them, but they feel like an old part of us that like we just finally recorded, brought to life, and like have let out, and also we hadn't written with Stella. We didn't write those songs with Stella, and when she came to record with us, like she definitely worked some of the arrangements out with us, and like we let her have creative control as well. But they weren't a product like of all of us coming together and starting from scratch and writing something. So I kind of feel like we're a different band than even wrote that music, and so I feel like there's so much possibility, and it's going to be so different, and we're so much better than we used to be as musicians after touring for 2 years, that I feel like I don't feel any pressure. I just feel excited.
Because I've read that you're already working on a new album and that it's going to be stripped down, the music.
Well, that's one idea. I mean, I can't really say what it's going to be like, but yeah, I feel that way. I feel like my impulses tell me that I want things to be a little bit more simple. But that doesn't mean like simple as in like not interesting, or simple as in like easy to play or something, or like it's not like it'll still have content, and like even if something could be like complex in one way, like maybe it's in a weird time signature and it goes to another weird time signature or something, but there's a simplicity to the sounds that you're hearing. Like it still feels like something kind of basic while also not being basic, you know?
Does that mean that the psychedelic sound is going to change? Or?
I doubt it. I mean, I love reverb and I love delay, and like I like things that like kind of feel spacey but also feel really deep. So, and I think I speak for everyone in that in regard. And also, but I definitely think it, like, we love good grooves and good beats and things that people can dance to, and so that part of it will always be there too. And like honestly, we've been so influenced by electronic music all of our lives, and I know that's something that like will take more and more of a role in our music and stuff too.
So what kind of electronic music?
Well, I'll just put it this way: we're like all beside ourselves that we get to see Aphex Twin play tonight. So, like that. But I mean, like Little Dragon, she's a form of electronic music too. But doesn't mean that it lacks like a basic like groove or like like she sounds like she's playing like African beats, you know. But then like a lot of the sounds are samples or like synth sounds, and like some of the sounds she's using for chords off the synth are like 80s sounds, you know. It's just like all that kind of stuff is interesting.
Okay. So we can probably expect a bit more electronics in the next album.
Possibly. I don't know.
It's a surprise.
Well, it's like we haven't really had time to like sit down and really write at all. So I can't really say right now like what we would do as a band. I think once we're done with this tour at the beginning of September, we'll probably start we are gonna start like just going and playing every day and seeing what comes out and what we get drawn to, and then like process that for a little while and say like, well, what is, you know, let's look at where we're at. Let's look at the things that we've just like created and the sounds that we're gravitating towards, and like think about it, you know, and like turn it into something that maybe has like a structure, like an album that has like an overall feel, or maybe like even a bit of a concept, as opposed to just like a mashup of all the songs that we've written, which is how the last album was. It was kind of just like anything goes, whatever we want, you know. And I think this one might be a little bit more thought out. We were a band for a really long time before we like put anything out, even, and before we even really seriously played shows and stuff. And a lot of that was because we weren't ready, because we were with Shannon and she dropped out. We took a year off, got back together, Shannon came back, Shannon left again, played with somebody else. Like every single time that happened, like we had to take months to reconfigure our band. So that's another reason why it's taken a long time, I think. But we weren't just like trying to get something out and get to a point where like we weren't using the fact that we were girls or new famous people to release a record before we liked what our record would be, you know. Yeah. So
I've also read that sex is an important thing in your songs.
Sexism
is an important thing. It isn't?
I mean, no, I don't look at life that way. I look at it like person to person. You know, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. Like the things that people experience in life are so often just like a human experience. Like there's no, probably the things that like that take me up and down emotionally every day are the same things that do for a guy, or like the same things I'm trying to overcome. Like, I don't know, any, like, sounds really hippie, but it's true, like any ego problems that I might have, for instance, that stop me from being like the best person that I could be, which is something that I'm striving for in life. That's another, like, one of my goals, is as much as like being an excellent guitar player or something, you know. It's one of my goals is to be able to be like a really kind and good person to the people around me, you know, and like be the best person I can be. That's a human thing. It's not a girl thing. It's not, you know. So I think just like being overtly feminist is kind of it's kind of old school. It's just like indulging in extremes, and it feels like it's fighting in some way. Like I don't want to fight. I want to like be happy, and
And make very good music.
yeah, and make really good music and have really good friends and like have fun and laugh a lot, and like if you have to cry, then that's fine too. But there's like I just don't want to. I hate the feeling of like fighting and arguing and battling with people or whatever, and like not that like it's just that happens. That the stuff happens. Like imagine being in a band and like really we're a democratic band like we are, and like I have an idea of where I want the song to go, and I really do. I want that, and someone else like really wants like the exact opposite. And like imagine how sometimes like say you're already in a bad mood because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something, like you could very well like snap at that person because you see them all the time, or like they're bothering you, you're not going to get your way, or like whatever, like that. Whenever I indulge personally in like that bad feeling or like snap at someone or be rude, I feel like crap immediately. So what was I saying? Like that's the kind of stuff that you learn a lot about, like being in a band like ours too, and also traveling together all the time. A lot of bands break up because they just like eventually can't stand each other,
Yeah, I can imagine like 4 girls in a band. Maybe does that cause catfights a lot, or?
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, no, and yes, no. I mean, just like, we're girly, but we're not girly either. It's like, it's not really cat fights. Like sometimes it's just like, there's things that come up and you get irritated with people, and like sometimes, like I was saying, you just like irritated with yourself, and then you like look at the way that someone's eating their food and you're just like, ugh. But that's just because they're right there, and really what you need to do is like go for a walk and like chill out for a second, and like but I mean most of the time though we've gotten really really good at just having a lot of fun together. I don't think any of us is like into dwelling at all on like being a bitch. Like nobody wants to be a bitch, so we just laugh a lot and joke around a lot, and like a lot.
So there's gonna be a lot more Warpaint albums then.
Yeah, we're not gonna break up, not gonna split up.
That's great.
Yeah, no. I mean, also we just hopefully we get to a point where like we do this album, we can tour, but we don't have to tour as non-stop as we did. Like maybe the next album, like the next hopefully logical step for us is that we make a little bit more money off of it, which comes down to so that we can take a little bit less time, or take more time like in between like the tours, and then we can write more and release more too, because we have a lot of ideas. Like we want to do EPs where each of us like starts a song and it's all like on piano, but each have like that piano song, or then there's one that's like an EP of 4 songs or whatever that's just like drum based, or just like different little projects like that. Like that's the kind of stuff that gets us off and like keeps us going, and like we love that kind of stuff. So in an ideal world, like we tour and do that and yeah, keep making music for a long time.
Hey, I noticed your festival boots. Is that all Lowlands mud?
No, we we have these from a couple months ago. My wellies. We have them from what I forget where we were doing like festivals like a few months ago, and yeah, and we kept them in with our backline, and so when we got here today we had them, and so we were like, might as well wear them because it's muddy.
Rainy.
Yeah, it's pretty rainy out there, or it's pretty like, it makes things look really dismal when you look around and there's mud everywhere on the ground, and everyone's like, and it kind of stinks, and you're like, who would want to do this?
Yeah, the smell is horrible around here.
But I'm glad people want to have a good time and they don't care about the rain and the mud. And like, I definitely just had the best time ever dancing to Little Dragon, like I said. And it doesn't, you know, when you hear good music and you just start dancing and you have fun, like, it doesn't matter if you get sweaty or dirty or what, anything, like, you know. So I'm sure there's other things assisting people in like not caring about their surroundings too, like things they're drinking or more.
You just drink enough, you don't smell it anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for the interview. I'm really looking forward to your gig tonight.
Cool.
And
I'm looking forward to playing, like really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.